It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, on today's program, I am going back into the Daily Doug vault and I am accessing a portion of my reaction to the entire album of Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti. So it was back in the middle of May that this won our poll over on Patreon. Our extended play lounges do full album listens, and we do 2 of them a month, and Physical Graffiti won out by a pretty big margin in that month. And so I did all of that double album. I have already released the Kashmir portion of that reaction to YouTube. Today I am releasing 10 Years Gone, my reaction to that song on the album, and it's a fascinating tune, friends. I had not heard it before, and I was really taken by the complexity of it, the layering of it, the sincerity of how it was presented, and I was just taken by it. So I invite you to listen to my reaction of 10 Years Gone by Led Zeppelin now. Okay, up next is 10 Years Gone, and this looks interesting, friends. This has more than a dozen overdubbed guitar tracks on it, from what I read. The song was originally intended to be an instrumental, but Robert Plant later added lyrics which were dedicated or inspired by a conversation with a former girlfriend who, 10 years previously, had sort of confronted him about choosing her or his music, or I think specifically his adoring female fans. And I think it's pretty obvious which one he chose. But I'm curious to hear this one. I don't think I've heard it before, so here is 10 Years Gone. Off we go. Another one in A, down to F, with a cool chord over the top of it. Somber. So you get a lot in lay. Beautiful. The voicings on the guitar and the bass.
As it was, then again it will be. Though the course may change sometimes, rivers always reach the sea. Blind skies of fortune, each have separate way. On the wings of May.
Completely sounds like Led Zeppelin. I mean, what other band could put a groove like that up there?
Kinda makes me feel sometimes getting tired to grow. But as an eagle leaves the nest, got so far to go.
So the same note with the changed chord there, that's the 4 chord that they go to. Yeah, and there's a 6 that they go to, and that note is the same in all 3 of those chords.
Changes fill my time.
That A is consistent the whole time.
In the midst I think of you and how it used to be.
I haven't figured out that section yet. They've got a diminished chord, I think, where they shouldn't. And that's throwing my ear off a bit. Sounds like they're in D. Yeah, it sounds like one. Kind of over here. The 4 is a G. Down to 2.
You ever really need somebody? Really need them bad? Did you ever really want somebody? Best of you ever had? Do you ever remember me, baby? Did it feel so good?
Listen to all those
It was just
guitars.
the first time, and you knew you were.
Feels so full. It's like a choir of guitars. Which fills my choir soul, right? Some mixolydian. And they get back to A. That's how they get back. That was smooth. Crashes are on the wrong spot. See, I want to hit the crash there. I love that low F at the bass.
Fixing in my dreams with great surprise to me. Never thought I'd see your face the way it used to be. Oh, darling. Oh, darling.
It's definitely an F sharp. I think it's A down to F sharp diminished, which still has an A in it. So they may just be keeping that same tone.
Oh, darling. Hey, yeah. Oh, darling. I'm never gonna leave you.
When I hear that around in a ending like that, it gives me kind of a forever feeling in the coda. It's an extension or a prolongation of that tone, specifically, which I feel like was like the main tonic note of that key, and so it kind of reiterates the "I'm never gonna leave you," holding on for 10 years, and so on and so forth. It really is a fascinating song from this group, isn't it? It's one of the more sincere lyrics that I have come across from Robert Plant, and it's one of the more unique sounding songs from Led Zeppelin with all of those guitars. Whenever I think of Led Zeppelin, I'm thinking, the big, rhythm stuff and the riffs from the guitar. This one didn't really have any major riffs in it. It was more of an orchestral approach to using the guitar than a rock and roll approach to using the guitar, with all of those overdubs of all of those guitars being played. It reminds me more of a guitar section like a violin section in an orchestra versus just a single rock and roll guitar player on stage doing all of this stuff. It's amazing to me. In fact, they did play it live for a few years, and John Paul Jones used this unique 3-necked guitar to help him get to all of the notes that he needed to play. They ended up dropping it from their set list before too long, and they didn't play it very often. And it's understandable. This is something that's built in the studio, and you'd have to have just a full number of guitarists to recreate it live on stage. But it was beautiful to listen to here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It was a first time listen for me. I am slowly getting into Led Zeppelin and getting on the Led Zeppelin train, and I will continue to get into some Led Zeppelin. If you would like to see the entire reaction, the entire double album Physical Graffiti is available on my Patreon for y'all, and it's great to be able to excerpt a few choice songs from the full reaction and share it with the YouTube audience. And so that's what I did today. Thanks y'all for listening, and we will see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.